Thanks so much for getting up with 13 News Now on Daybreak. Good morning. I'm Kristina Robinson. Getting back now to that report of an active shooter situation at Norfolk Naval Shipyard, which officials say is not true. The base is on lockdown, but police tell us there is no active shooter. Northam steps down. Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax takes his place, but Fairfax is now facing controversy of his own. We are following the hashtag shutdown stories, and I think these posts do an incredible job of helping us understand what the furloughed employees and their families are going through. Let me show you this post. This debris line really gives you a good idea of just how far up the standing water traveled, carrying so much trash with it, scattering all over the place. This is kind of gross, but we actually even saw a diaper over there. Fred's laughing because I have some friends now on the set that magically appeared out of nowhere and brought us forks. Found forks. So we are going to dig in. Let me show you as I walk into the frame here. That right there is actually a rolled over car, and you can see crews are right there on the scene. No traffic is getting by right now. Think about this. Instead of making a list of what you need to start doing, how about making a list of what not to do? For example, at the end of the night, like sitting on the couch for 3 hours watching Netflix. Yeah. That's a different approach. When you walk right into the market, you'll be hit by a couple of local favorites. The fudgeries right behind me, and I've been seeing them whip up some fresh fudge all day long here. Now over here we have Carolina Cupcakery. A local restaurant is bringing back the ancient art of noodle pulling. Today on Friday Flavor, I'll introduce you to the noodle man himself. It's a Chinese tradition stretching back hundreds of years. Noodle pulling.
They're different.
An art co-owner of Noodle Man Yu Shi learned in China.
You can taste it's like the fresh.
The so-called lamian noodles are made from scratch daily from dough that gets worked on by hand.
What I'm doing right now is make them soft.
When it's just right, it's time to start pulling. And noodle pulling is absolutely part of the experience here at Noodle Man. You can watch your food go from pot to plate.
Lots of people want to sit on the bar and they can watch the chef how to make the noodle.
It takes less than a minute to cook the hand-stretched noodles. Oh, that looks good. Then it's time to slurp up. All right, I'm going in. I tried a few of the most popular dishes, including Mongolian beef stir-fry and hot and spicy noodle soup. Dishes the noodle men of Virginia Beach can't wait for you to try.
I hope everybody can get the original Chinese food.
It's the bread and butter of the Outer Banks. The shore draws in hundreds of thousands of visitors each year, many of them relying on locals to open up their doors and rent their homes. Homes like this one, dubbed the Tandem Cottage. It's a cute 2-bedroom, 1-bath house located just steps away from the beach in Nags Head. Perfect for a quick getaway for the 4th of July weekend, I thought, which is why when I saw the listing for it on Craigslist, I knew I had to jump on it. I got a reply fairly quickly. The supposed owner told me it is available and forwarded on this leasing contract. The contract outlined everything from what is supplied at the property to whether I can use the fireplace. Seems legit, right? All I needed to do is sign the contract and transfer the money. But something told me it's almost too good to be true, so I started digging. A quick Google search led me to the website homeaway.com.
You reached out to me on HomeAway. Something doesn't feel quite right about this. Are you the owner of this particular cottage? And so I could feel what was coming.
Meet Amy Underwood. She actually owns the Tandem Cottage, but she's not Helena Mitchell, the person who is ready to rent it out to me and take my money.
It just makes your stomach turn over.
An uncomfortable situation Amy has dealt with before. A scammer hijacks pictures and specs and hopes to cash in.
The one that you dealt with had actually done a little bit of homework, which was interesting. And they provided you with a phone number, which is also pretty unusual. A lot of times it's just email, like strictly an email conversation. So it's interesting to see they're getting a little more sophisticated.
Sophisticated enough where they actually fooled families before.
I guess you always think, well, it'll never happen to me.
This is Cindy Thornsward, a friend of Amy's who also rents out properties. For Cindy, the uncomfortable moment came 2 summers ago.
I was contacted by one of my current guests who said there was someone at the door thinking they had rented this house for 3 or 4 nights. So I had to be the one to tell these people that they had lost their money and they had nowhere to stay.
That family drove all the way from Chicago with 3 kids under the age of 5. their car packed with groceries. A desperate situation that Sydney says was a learning moment for everyone.
You never know when it's going to happen. You wait every week for the phone to ring and get the call that, someone else has shown up.
That could have been me. Amy and I worked together to get the proper information on the scammers that seemed so convincing to police. And that's really all we could do.
But unfortunately, it's not actually considered a crime until someone pays money and shows up. So what they were able to do was go on, and they did contact Craigslist, and they were able to delete that account. But it takes a solid 5 minutes to go on and recreate that account. So that particular scammer probably is already at it again, or was at it again within about 10 minutes on another property.